Hey folks, welcome to the show. Let's talk about that game that happened. It wasn't really a game per se, or at least not a 60-minute one, which is fine because my team was the one that won. I do feel bad for Pittsburgh. I actually had some hopes for them this year, which isn't common. I'm usually kind of indifferent to them. It's like, they won, but I was kind of hoping they'd make a run this year. Not that I expected a big one, but I didn't expect them to be this low in the standings or play this badly. They showed a graphic on Sportsnet, the head-to-head battle between McDavid and Crosby. So coming into this, they had played 11 games. Crosby only had 7 points in those 11 games versus McDavid's 22. However, Crosby had the edge in that he won 6 of those 11 meetups between the two. But now he no longer has that edge. The Penguins lost by a lot. Now, they were coming in off of back-to-back. Edmonton was 2, but the difference was Edmonton was at home already. They didn't have to travel. Their game, they won in the middle of the day, whereas Pittsburgh was coming off of an evening game where they lost and blew a lead. So that's also demoralizing. Now, that's not that's not Edmonton's fault, and that's not an excuse for Pittsburgh. It's just part of what happened, and it's certainly not an excuse for losing 6-1, which was the final score. Though we could have ended it early if we wanted to. Anyways, first period, it does feel like Oilers are in control for most of the first period, and the shots suggest that Edmonton outshot Pittsburgh 11-8 in that period. I believe Edmonton did have a penalty during that. Janmark was called for interference about 8 minutes in. Didn't really change the shot total too much. Pittsburgh power play couldn't really get much to going against that Edmonton penalty kill. I'm not sure how much of that is Pittsburgh's power play being snake bitten and how much of it is Edmonton's penalty kill being good again. Anyways, Nedeljkovic makes some notable saves, and eventually Hyman breaks through. It's his 41st of the year, and he's assisted by the big two, Draisaitl and McDavid. And then the period ends. It's the second period where the Edmonton Oilers really pretty much win the game, and it starts early. First, there's a notable save by Picard on Crosby about 2 minutes and 40-ish seconds in, and then the third line, which was McLeod, Fogle, and Perry, takes the puck and the momentum from that very big save. Not like super amazing, awesome save, but it was a pretty good save. All saves are good. Anyways, the third line takes that puck and the momentum down to the other end of the ice and score. It's Corey Perry's 8th of the year, and he's assisted by Fogle and McLeod. And then, not even 3 minutes later, but close to 3 minutes later, Hyman scores his 2nd of the year, 42nd of the year, 2nd of the game, and is assisted by Draisaitl and Bouchard. Eventually, in the middle of the second, the Oilers do find themselves on a power play with about halfway through due to a too many men penalty by Pittsburgh. Edmonton could not get one pass in Nedeljkovic during that power play. And then Edmonton eventually takes a penalty of their own, and it's Brett Kulak who impeded a breakaway of a Pittsburgh player. I don't believe the name is here. No, it wasn't. Didn't write it down, but it's not much note. You probably wouldn't recognize his name. Sorry to that guy. And he missed the net on the penalty shot. And so that just kind of suggests what's going on with Pittsburgh's season and what's going on with this game. Not long after Ryan McLeod scores a goal for himself. It's his 10th of the year, and he's assisted by Kane and Kulak. And then, not even a minute later, in fact, just over 30 seconds later, Cody Ceci wants to get on the board, and he does. It's his 2nd of the year. 2 more than Connor Brown. He's assisted by Foegele and Kulak. And that closes out the second period. Edmonton got 11 shots again in that period, limiting Pittsburgh to only 6, and take a 5-0 lead into second intermission. Just complete dominance during that period. Nothing really more can be said about it except what I just said. And the third period comes along, and it goes away not fast enough for Pittsburgh. They take 2 penalties early, and it results in just over a minute of a 2-man advantage for the Oilers. The Oilers do not capitalize on either of these, but that's more of them playing keep away rather than letting than trying to score. It was 5-0 at that point, and the Oilers would eventually make it 6-0. McDavid, after having only 1 point in those first 5, decides he wants one for himself, and when he wants a goal, he'll get it. It's his 23rd of the year. He's assisted by Ekholm and Draisaitl. The Oilers do their best to control and suppress Pittsburgh's shots throughout the rest of the game, and they do pretty good, but a lucky bounce gives the Malkin the puck in the slot with a wide open net, and he scores with 8 minutes left in the third period, ending Picard's hopes for a shutout. If you did say shutout before the game ended, shame on you. You should be punished, but you should also keep your mouth quiet and not let other people know that you caused the shutout to not happen. It's a real thing. Trust me, I'm a goalie. Anywho, so that goal was Malkin, as I said, is the 17th of the year, and he's assisted by Raquel and Riley Smith. And then finally, in Pittsburgh's case, the Oilers win the game. Final score 6-1. Final shots were 37-22 as Edmonton added 15 shots in that third period. Nedeljkovic played the whole game. Despite expectations he'd get pulled, not because he was bad, he was just mediocre, and the rest of the team was pretty bad, and he couldn't do anything to help change that. So maybe Jarry was really tired from the night before. Maybe Pittsburgh or Mike Sullivan, the coach, felt that the game was already a lost cause and decided not to wear down Jarry some more. So kind of feel bad for Nedeljkovic. But at the same time, my team won 6-1. So woo! Face-offs 31-23 in favor of Edmonton. Power plays, nobody scored on a power play. Pittsburgh went 0-2, which is standard for Pittsburgh. But Edmonton went 0-3, which isn't standard. But again, 2 of those was because Edmonton was just playing keep away rather than trying to score. Hits were even at 33 apiece. Another heavy hitting game. And that's it for the major stats of the game. Let's get into some individual performances for the Oilers. Lots of great individual performances, and I will make note of quite a few. But first, let's do the 3 stars. The first star was easy to choose. Hyman, he had 2 goals. It was harder to choose who to leave out because there was lots of notable players. I eventually decided on McDavid and McLeod, who each had a goal and an assist, and their lines did very well. Nobody actually played over 20 minutes, which is especially of note with McDavid. He usually does. 3 players did play 20 minutes. I mean, for the Oilers, that was Ekholm, Bouchard, and Nurse. We'll get to them. And I already talked about McLeod, and yeah, he had a great game. His wingmates with Foegele and Perry, his wingmates seem to be changing a lot, and he seems to do quite well regardless. Even when he's part on the wing, he's a very versatile player, and it's fun to watch him. I really wanted to include Picard. I didn't want to punish him for allowing a goal, but with how well everyone else played, it was kind of hard to include him in the top 3 stars without a shutout. Again, no hate on him. He had a very good game. He had 21 of 22, saved 21 of 22. The defense I also wanted to shout out. I couldn't find a defenseman who was, in my opinion, had a better game than those top 3 guys that I mentioned. but I did want to talk about them because the defense had a great game, limiting Pittsburgh to only 22 shots, while as their offense nearly doubled that. The lines were changed up a bit. It was Bouchard and Ekholm. They stayed together. They were the top line and were excellent. Nurse and Desharnais were also quite good. Desharnais had 6 hits and 2 blocks. Third pairing, in terms of analytics, it was Kulak and Ceci, weren't very good, but Kulak had 2 assists and Ceci had a goal, so they still had a good game together, despite analytics suggesting they weren't the most effective line. But at the end of the day, they didn't allow I don't believe they allowed a goal while they were on. Oh, whatever. Doesn't matter. They played well. They had 3 points between them. And I'm tired. It's late. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the review. I will see you I will see you on my next video. The Oilers play Boston Tuesday night. And I hope you have a great rest of your morning, afternoon, night, wherever you're at. Thank you so much. Please leave a like if you think I've earned it. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. That would be very helpful. And I would also extremely appreciate it if you subscribe and even turn on notifications. But for now, I'll see you when I see you.